of this window frame is warped and needs replacing. Can you do that? Yeah, he said. I need to have a look behind here. You attached to the wallpaper? Heck no. He almost smiled. The sooner I can repaint and get new flooring down, the better. Nothing from him. A knife appeared from the toolbox, sharp-pointed with jagged teeth. He punched the blade through the drywall with ease and started cutting into the wall. How is he? I asked the dreaded question. Curiosity was the worst. Enjoying London? Yeah, was all he said. And how's Jane? We're not together anymore. Not a surprise. Lars went through various girlfriends during the year I'd been with what's-his-face. Neither he nor his friend were down with commitment, which was fine if you just wanted to have fun. But Jane was a keeper, smart with a wicked sense of humor. Lars definitely had a type. All of his girlfriends were petite, perfect dolls who behaved in a ladylike manner, the opposite of buxom, loudmouthed me. He pried a square of drywall loose. You thinking of living here permanently, or flipping and selling the place, or what? Haven't decided. Great location. A bit of work, and it'd probably be worth a lot of money, he said, keeping the conversation on the business at hand, as was good and right. Using the flashlight on his phone, he inspected the cavity. The man was all handyman chic. Big-ass boots, jeans, and a faded black tee, all of it well-worn. And the way his blue jeans conformed to his thick thighs and the curves of his ass was something. Something I hadn't meant to notice, but oh well, these things happened. Maybe it was the way his tool belt framed that particular part of his anatomy. For a moment, I couldn't look away. I was butt-struck, which was both wrong and bad. It would not be smart for me to notice this man in the sexual sense, though it was nice to know my thirst meter wasn't broken. I don't know if Lars and I were ever really friends. We had, however, been friendly, though that was romantic relationships for you. One moment you had all of these awesome extra people in your life, and the next moment they're gone. I tugged on the end of my dark ponytail, an old nervous habit. At this stage, it looks like the damage is only superficial, Lars said. These 2 sections of drywall have to go. Once I've done that, I'll have a better idea of what we're dealing with. Okay. But it wouldn't surprise me if some or all of that one needs replacing too. He pointed to the wall the bedroom shared with the bathroom. See how there's bubbling along the joins of the wallpaper there? Right. Do I have your approval to get started? I nodded. None of this was exactly unexpected. Old buildings might have soul, but they could also have heavy upkeep. Renovations cost big bucks. While my savings were meager, lucky for this 100-year-old house, my aunt left me some money, which was a point of contention for a few of my family members. Like any of them had time for Aunt Susan when she was alive. Besides being my namesake, she was also the black sheep of the family. A little too weird for some, I guess. But weird has always been a trait that I admired. I'm going to make myself coffee, I said. Would you like some? Yeah, thanks. How do you take it? White, no sugar. You're sweet enough, huh? And the moment those words were out of my mouth, I knew I'd made a mistake. Talk about awkward. He snorted, then said, something like that. Lars didn't mess around. By the time I returned, he'd removed the first 2 panels of drywall. Hands on hips, he stood staring at the interior of the wall with the problematic window. Mostly, it looked like a lot of dust and a couple of cobwebs, but then I'm not a builder. When I handed over his mug, he gave me a brief smile before taking a sip. How is it looking? I asked. Your house has good bones. Great. As long as the damage on that wall is due to the moisture spreading from the window and not a leaky bathroom pipe, this should be pretty straightforward, he said. I'd taken over the main bedroom, but this room still held a lot of sentimental value for me. Whenever Mom and Dad were busy or needed a break from us kids, my brother would stay at a friend's house, and I'd be packed off to Aunt Susan's.